Hey guys! Today I'm going to be doing the Sailor Moon book tag created by Super Space Chick. I've really been in an anime and manga mood, and I know that I've slacked on making videos for the last couple weeks, and that's mainly because I just haven't had the time to sit down and film any videos. At least I haven't been able to film any videos that wouldn't take place at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I really am tired of filming at night because the lighting is so horrible and I have to work with natural lighting. But a video that I would have plenty of time to do is a tag, because tag videos are by far the quickest videos to film and edit and upload. And this tag just happens to be based on my favorite anime. And I'm not talking about Sailor Moon Crystal. I do believe there are several aspects of Crystal that are different from the original. And I plan on watching Crystal, but it's not on the top of my priority list because I love the originals so much that I'm not even sure that I'll be able to watch Sailor Moon Crystal and be biased about it. So first up is our main heroine, Sailor Moon, a book that makes you hungry. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I have never gotten hungry while reading a book. And no book that I've read has actually made me hungry either. I mean, there are several books I've read where they're describing the meals these characters are eating in extreme detail, but that doesn't really make me hungry at all. Next is Sailor Mercury, a book that features science and technology. I think the Illuminate trilogy by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff covers this perfectly. Because not only is there a man-made disease being used against people, there is also a AI that is able to self-repair itself. Next is Sailor Venus, a book that makes you want to play video games. I think the book series that has come the closest to making me want to play video games is the Mortality Doctrine series by James Dashner, and that is because this entire book series, or at least like 90% of the book series, is a gigantic video game. Next up is Sailor Mars, a book inspired by mythology or folklore. Now for this, you guys are probably going to expect me to go with Percy Jackson, and that is the most popular option for this because I love Percy Jackson so much. But I'm going to go with the Blackwell Pages by K.L. Armstrong and M.A. Marr. This trilogy covers Norse mythology, and it was actually a whole lot better than I was expecting because I have such high expectations for mythology books since Rick Riordan's series, so I was worried that I'd go into it and my expectations would be so high that I wouldn't enjoy the books, but I was so wrong. I mean, it took me a little bit to read all three of them, but I really did enjoy them. Next up is Sailor Jupiter, a book that gives you strong feelings. Silver Shadow, hands down. I was not expecting to be so emotional at any point in this series, but this book just had me so sad and crushed, and I broke down into tears a couple of times, and it's so emotional what she goes through. Next up is my favorite planet and Sailor Scout, Sailor Saturn. A post-apocalyptic book that you love. And I have read so many dystopian novels that this was incredibly difficult. And I had to think to myself, I was like, okay, out of all these books, which ones did I love, either the entire duology or the entire trilogy? So that immediately knocked out Divergent, and Hunger Games, actually, because the last books of those two series I really couldn't stand. Ultimately, I decided to go with the Reboot duology by Amy Tantera, mainly because I do love this duology, but it also has one of the most unique concepts for a dystopian novel. I have a review up for this book if you guys want to go check it out, but I feel like this is like one of those books you just go into, and the less you know, the better the book is. Next up, Sailor Uranus, a book with elemental magic. And I don't have a physical copy of this book, but Breaking Damien by Aaron Morgul, I still have problems saying his name. If I was going to compare this book to anything, it would be Avatar: The Last Airbender. Mainly because both characters of those series learn all of the elemental magic that is available in their worlds. Next up is Sailor Neptune, a book featuring music. And I very recently finished the selection series, and the main character, America, is a 5, and 5s deal with music and art. Next up is Sailor Pluto, a time traveling book. Gonna be completely honest, I 100% thought that I hadn't read a time travel book. And truthfully, this isn't really a time travel book, it's more like an alternate dimension kind of book. Kind of. Sort of. You know, if I think about it enough, I just get a headache. So, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This is the closest thing to a time travel book I have read. It's time travel, but it's not time travel, because he's technically going to a different time, but it's a time that's frozen in the current time. So the reliving, it's a loop. It's what it's called in the book, it's a loop. But it's a loop with one time frozen inside another time. So I'm not sure. It's close enough to a time travel book. We'll go with it. Next up is Sailor Mini Moon, your favorite middle grade book. I haven't read a whole lot of middle grade series. Technically, the Blackwell Pages is a middle grade series. Percy Jackson is considered a middle grade series, but really only the 3 books in the first series I would consider middle grade, and then the same with Harry Potter. It's like only like the first 4 books I feel would be considered middle grade, and after that they'd be considered young adult. And out of those 3, my favorites are obviously going to be Harry Potter or Percy Jackson. Don't ask me to choose. Next up is Tuxedo Mask, and I've lost my mask, so I can't wear it for you guys. It was up here somewhere. It's gone now. A book with masquerades or hidden identities. And I had to go with Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, because throughout the entire book, Simon is corresponding with this boy online named Blue. And it's not until the very end of the book that he figures out Blue's true identity. So, hidden identity. Last up is Luna, Artemis, and Diana, a book for animal lovers. And I could not think of a book that would be for animal lovers, but there is this manga and anime series called Fruits Basket that I don't actually own a physical copy of, but I have read it and I've watched it and I loved it. And it's all about this family that is cursed to be animals of the zodiac, and whenever they're hugged or really touched by the opposite sex, they end up turning into that animal. I haven't really decided who I want to tag yet, so I will leave a list of people I tag in the description. But that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!